Hello beautiful people, I've got a really cool project for you today. This is a retro piece which I believe is a top part of a kitchen unit. I got it from my neighbor who gave it to me because I gave him a free desk. And I promised that if I made something nice out of it, I would give it back to him. By the way, that probably wasn't a great deal because my desk was brand new, I just finished it and this is complete trash as you can see. Before we start, I just wanted to tell you that YouTube informed me that there is a new button under my videos. It's called Super Thanks, and apparently that's a new way for you to show your support. If you choose to do so, you just click on it and it will tell you what to do. So thank you and enjoy the video. As it's often the case, I didn't really know what I was going to do with this unit, but I had to remove the glass and I had to take the strips off because otherwise it wouldn't come out. And there was a piece of that glass broken off in the corner, and eventually I decided that I didn't want to keep it anyway, so it didn't matter. Those of you who follow me on social media have probably seen this device. This is a paint stripper from METABO, and I've wanted to buy one for a long time. This isn't very cheap. I think I paid £209 for this, but it's absolutely worth it. It's got 2 rotating carbide blades and it probably works 4 or 5 times faster than a sander. This wouldn't be flipping drawers video without sanding or scraping, so there you have it. I've been actually using a card scraper for about a month now, and it works much better for me than just a regular carbide scraper, and I can sharpen it whenever it needs sharpening, and I'm very happy with it. Super simple, very convenient. And here is the METABO scraper working in real time, just so you can see how fast it works. And also you can see that this is not something that you would use on a veneer, because it would just go through it even on the lowest setting. And just to give you an idea how awesome it is, I refinished 4 countertops in my kitchen in one day, and that includes sanding after using the METABO stripper and applying a clear coat. And this is another device that I've wanted for a long time, and this is from Made the Best. It's called Ortur Laser Master 2S2, and this was a gift, so I didn't have to pay for this, but I'm not obligated to say anything nice. Basically, I was meant to use it and share my feelings and opinion, so that's what I'm doing. I'm not gonna bore you to death with my detailed review because there are many people who can do it much better than me, and I will include some links below to some people who can actually do it really well. So you'll find out exactly how to put it together, all the software that you need and the software that you can use with it and what you can actually do with it. But I'll just show you what I did. while you watch me scrape and sand and do all the regular things, I can tell you that it's actually pretty straightforward to put this device together, and you can use it to cut things or to engrave, and you can use multiple different media, so you can do it in plastic and wood and leather. I actually used it on plywood. I know that I will probably get some comments about cleaning this unit at this point, but that's because I didn't sand it to begin with. I used my stripper, which didn't sand all the dirt into the wood but just removed it, and then I sanded it on top of it. And because I was not going to remove this white paint inside, I wanted to clean it. So with this project, as with many other projects, not everything went according to plan. For example, I decided to paint it green after using my METABO stripper, but I didn't realize that I missed some spots that were quite rough, and they really showed after I painted it, so I had to sand the whole thing again to bare wood, and I decided to paint it white instead. So this is me painting it green, and I decided to keep this footage in just so you guys see that it's not always rainbows and unicorns and nobody's perfect, including me. I do make mistakes, quite a lot of them actually, and sometimes it just takes a lot of time and it's quite frustrating. But you know, I could edit it out and make it look pretty, but I want you to actually see the real life. Also, for whatever reason, my sprayers really struggled with this paint, even though I thinned it out, and I tried two different sprayers and they just didn't really work properly. So in the end, I ended up using a roller. So the reason I decided to make new doors is because the idea that I had for them didn't really quite work. I wanted to use the laser on them, but because they were painted, it didn't really give me the effect that I was going for, and I wanted just bare wood. So that's why I used plywood. Because this piece was part of a larger kitchen unit and it was not meant to sit on the ground, none of the legs that I had would actually work for it, so I decided to make custom ones. also realized that my table saw blade was really dull, so I got a new one, but unfortunately after I filmed this video, so the cuts were not pretty. After I glued the legs together, I rounded the top portion with my sander. It's actually just a generic picture of the shoe rack that I used for this project. Mine was much dirtier and older, but as you might know by now, I'm all for reusing and repurposing things, so turning a shoe storage into some sort of door substitute sounds like a great idea to me. As you can see, I use my router and 240 grit sandpaper to give the legs a nice finished look. Once I finally found something to elevate this unit to the right height so I could attach the legs, I used a level to make sure it was all straight and level, and I glued the legs in place using super glue and an activator. Even though the bond is quite strong, this is not meant to be a structural glue. It's basically just to keep them in place so I can put the screws in and just make it easier for myself. This really cool set of tools that I'm using here was sent to me by my friends at HOTO, and if you guys want to purchase one, you can use my discount code. It's FD as in flipping drawers, and I'll put all the links below. And no, I'm not sponsored by them, and I don't need to say anything nice, but I have received some tools from them, and I actually use them all the time because they're really cool and really handy, even though I have lots of other tools. I think especially this small screwdriver is very useful because it's very small, so in tight spaces, super useful, and it's actually quite powerful. After making sure that the doors that I cut were actually the right size, I downloaded the software for the laser engraver. The software is called Lightburn, and I ran a couple of tests just to make sure I was happy with the look, and then I went on and I engraved the pattern. I went online and I looked for some sort of mid-century modern geometric pattern that would go nicely with this unit that I was working on, and I quite like this one. I removed a little bit of material on the inner side of the doors, just so they would slide easily and would actually fit in the grooves, and they work perfectly fine. I also applied some polyurethane just because of the burning. When I tried to apply wax, it would just smear it out, and I wanted to prevent it. And for the rest of the unit, I applied water-based clear coat. When I went to pick up that piece of plywood for the doors, I also saw this C-shaped brass trim that was just perfect for those doors. It was exactly the same size and it would give me a really nice tight fit. So I decided to use it to cover those edges as they were not pretty. I feel that the brass trimming also elevated this piece and made it look more elegant and posh. Before I show you the final results, just wanted to say thank you for watching the video and for supporting me. If you guys feel like I've earned your subscription, please do hit the subscribe button, like and comment as well, as this helps the algorithm. And also, if you want to support me, you can click on the super thanks button below, or buy me a coffee through buy me a coffee, or visit my Amazon wishlist. Thank you again and have a lovely day or night. See you soon.